Although Vita Health Group provided this exercise class provisional with your health and safety in mind, each individual participant has their own limitations and should consult their general practitioner or an appropriate medical professional prior to undertaking the class. Should you be prone to injury, are currently pregnant, or be managing any functional limiting medical conditions, please seek medical confirmation prior to participating. At all times, ensure you follow all instructions provided by Vita Health Groups throughout the entirety of the recording. Should you experience any symptoms of dizziness, nausea, or increased pain at any point during your participation, please stop and seek the appropriate advice from your general practitioner or the 111 service.
Hi everyone, welcome to our beginners knee class. So this class is aimed for people who are particularly struggling with any symptoms in and around the knee, or for anybody who's new to the program. So the aims of the class today will be to strengthen up and provide stability in and around the knee joint and the surrounding structures. So I'll put in front of you now a list of the equipment that you will need for this class. Please have a quick read through this before you move on to a warm-up. Okay, so I'm going to start with a bit of a warm-up now, just get the body ready for the class. So I'm going to start out with a nice gentle march, just very steady on the spot. So looking to drive them knees up, get them arms moving, make sure we're swinging the arms as well. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths while we're working through the exercise. So the aim of the warm-up here is to raise the heart rate, activate the muscles that we're looking to work, mobilise the joints, and then potentiate, which to make the exercise we're doing a little bit more difficult and progress into the actual class itself. So keep yourself stood nice and upright, nice deep breaths. Keep driving them knees up, don't let them fall down. So as the heart rate begins to pick up, we'll actually increase muscle temperature as well, which improves muscular flexibility. All things that are good to help us perform and to prevent any kind of injury or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to progress this march into a nice steady jog, just keeping it on the spot. Again, don't forget about your breathing. Nice deep breath throughout. Nice and light on the toes. If you want to swing the arms a little bit as well. That's it, a little bit longer. Again, just kind of jogging at a comfortable pace, nothing too serious for you. Okay, I'm going to move on to the joint mobilisation for the hips, the lower back, and the pelvis. So we're just drawing these nice big circles as far as we can. Keep the hands on the hips to guide. And then we're going to change direction and the exact same thing going the opposite way. Again, nice deep breaths. Really feel that kind of stretch through the muscles as you push in each different direction. Okay, and then just on one leg at a time, just as far as you're comfortable with, just swing that leg in forwards and in front behind you. Focus on one point in front of you, or pop your arms out just to help you balance a little bit. And again, you can progress it just by swinging a little bit further. So you're just looking to feel that stretch in that hip, and activate the glutes as well. Also activate through the leg, where we just keep a little bit of balance. Okay, and then the exact same thing on the other side. Again, pick one spot in front of you, get the arms out, and just swing that leg. If you do need to put your foot back down to gauge your balance, that's fine. Good stuff. Okay, and then we're just going to start to bring it up the body a little bit into the shoulders, and we're just going to draw these nice big circles with the hands. Again, progress it yourself, kind of as far as you want to go, as far as feels comfortable for you. If that's just a small circle down here, that's fine. If we can we bring them up into a nice big circle, forwards and backwards, and just keep going. Helps to stretch out the chest, the upper back, even working into the neck a little bit as well. Again, a good warm-up kind of focus targets the whole body rather than just certain structures. Good. Make sure we are changing directions. Good stuff. And then we're going to move on to mobilise the actual spine itself. So various different movements for the spine. So we're going to start with feet nice and close together. Again, nice deep breaths while we work through these. Popping our hands on the front of our thighs and just sliding down as far as we can. When you reach that point, very slowly return to your starting position and repeat. So 5 of these. Again, make sure we are just in a comfortable range. So if that's only to your knees and back up, that's perfectly fine. It's just as far as you can go. Okie doke. And once we've done 5, the exact same thing, hands round on the back, just below the glutes. And we're just going to slide down towards the back of the knees. Again, you won't get anywhere near as far as you will going forwards. And again, it's just as comfortable as you can, kind of in terms of distance. So 5. Once you've done your 5, hands round onto the sides, kind of where your pockets should be. Maybe open up your feet a little bit wider for this one. And stand up nice and straight, and you're just going to slide one hand at a time down towards the knee to side flex the spine. And the exact same thing going in the other direction. Good. Again, nice deep breathing as we work through. So to each side is 1 rep, so you do 10 in total. Good, last one. Then you're going to, again, feet still in kind of position, arms out in front of you, and you're going to rotate to look over one shoulder, and then rotate the other way. Again, each side being 1 rep, 5 of these. So again, 10 in total. Keep counting your head. Make sure you keep the hips facing forwards, so we're just rotating the lower trunk. Okay, then give everything a nice little shake off as we draw towards the end of our warm-up. So we'll move on to the actual class itself now. So here's just a quick reminder of the equipment we'll need for this class. Okay, so our first exercise will be opening and closing of the gates. A really good mobility exercise for the hips and for the knees as well. So if you want to use a chair just for a little bit of balance, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you've got enough room between yourself and the chair to move the knee closer to the chair, up and out to the side. So we're going to bring the knee up, out and down, and repeat on the other side. And we're just going to work through this for 30 seconds. So starting in 3, 2 and 1, let's go. So keep bringing that hip and that knee up and out. Again, if you don't need the chair, don't hold it. Okay, and after 15 seconds, we're going to switch and we're now opening the gate. So bringing that hip up and away from the body. After 30 seconds, just bring ourselves back into that starting position, give the legs a nice little bit of a shake. We're going to take 20 seconds before we move on to our second set of 30 seconds. Let's go and get a drink, take a breather, and we'll come back for our second set. Okay, so we should be ready to go again for our second set. So again, if you need to use a chair, please do. If not, try and do it without. Again, we're just going to start out with closing that gate on each side. So bringing turning that hip back inwards. Same with the knee. Really bend that knee as we bring it back in. Again, working for 30 seconds. Then after 15, we are then going to swap and bring that knee up and out, working on both sides. Again, just work as far as you can. Try and bring that knee as high as you can and drive it back in line with the body as far as you can. Really good for the glutes, as well as the knee and the structures around it. Okay, real. So again, that's another 30 seconds. Again, just have a nice short little breather, quick 20 seconds, give your legs a nice little shake. Gentle walk on the spot while you get your breath back. So take 20 seconds and then we'll go again for our third set. Okay, so moving on to our third set now. So again, same thing, just 30 seconds, 15 opening and then 15 closing of that gate. And the gate being the knee, obviously. So again, if you need to use the chair for balance, please do. Bring that knee up and out to the side. Good stuff. And after 15 seconds, I'm going to swap. I'm going to close the gate. Should really feel the glutes starting to tire now. And the hamstrings as well, where you really flex that knee as you bring it in. Good stuff. And again, bring yourself back to that starting position, give the legs a nice little shake off. Just walk on the spot, get that blood flow going again, and I'm going to move on to our next exercise. Again, just take 20 seconds for a breather. Okay, so our next exercise that we'll move on to is a squat hold. It's not a complete squat. We're just going to work down into a lowered position, pop our hands on our legs and hold that position, more of an isometric contraction to really build some strength up in the quads, hamstrings and the glutes as well. You might also feel it in your calves. A really good exercise, this one. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to open up our feet a little bit and lower ourselves down as far as comfortable, and we're just going to hold ourselves like this. So starting in 3, 2, 1, just hold this position for 20 seconds. Good stuff, keep holding it, nice deep breaths. And after 20 seconds, bring yourself back into an upright position. Again, just take 20 seconds, have a little bit of a breather, give your legs a rest. I know it is a difficult exercise, this one. So we're targeting all the structures in the lower limbs and the glutes as well. So just take 20, have a breather, have a drink, and we'll go again. Okay, so perfect, that should be enough time to let the legs recover and plenty of time for us to be ready. So again, just repeating that exact same exercise, getting them glutes as low down as you feel comfortable with, and just hold that position for 20 seconds, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff, hold that position. Try and have the knees just over the toes where you can, And just take nice deep breaths as we hold that. Keep going, final push. 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Again, bring yourself back to your feet. We'll just take 20 seconds, have a little bit of a breather, get your breath back, and then we'll go again. 20 more seconds before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, good stuff. So one more 20-second hold, exact same position. Can we progressing a little bit lower this time? Okay, just hold that 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Keep going. Good stuff. Bring yourself back to your feet. Give yourself a nice little shake. And that'll bring us to the end of that exercise. Really well done. Again, just take a nice little breather. Give yourself 20 seconds to get your breath back. Give your legs a rest as well. And we'll move on to our next exercise. Okay, so this next exercise we've got really works with lower limb stability and control with a very, very slow muscle contraction that we're working with. So to start us off, we're going to bring ourselves down onto the ground, laid on our back. Again, just slowly bring yourself down to the ground. I'm going to bring legs up so the knees are touching each other. And then as slowly as we can, we're going to let this leg fall down towards the ground, controlling it on the way down. Squeeze the glutes and then slowly bring it back up. And then repeat on the other side. Again, really, really slow. Let that knee fall out. Squeeze the glutes and slowly back in. Okay. Again, slowly lowering down. Squeeze the glutes and slowly back in. And just keep alternating from side to side. Nice deep breathing as we lower that leg down and back in. Slow as possible. Remember to squeeze that glute at the lowest point. After we've done 7 on each side, we're going to bring ourselves back to our feet. Good, again, one more on this side. Slowly back to that starting position. And once completed 7 on each side, we're going to slowly bring ourselves back up onto our feet. Again, just give the legs a nice little shake, move the hips a little bit, and just take 20 seconds, just get your breath back, get a drink, and we'll move on to our second set. Okay, so it should be ready for our second set now. Again, we're just going to repeat that exact same first set. 7 on each side, slowly lowering that leg out to the side. So bring ourselves slowly down onto the floor. Get yourself comfortable. Palms face down. And again, very, very slowly, just lowering that leg out to the side. Squeeze the glute and very slowly back in. Again, the other side. Again, just count it in your head. 7 on each side, 14 in total. And the slower we do this exercise, the better here. So it's quite good for hip mobility as well, opening that hip up. But a nice slow muscle contraction really helps with stability of that joint in and around the hip and the knee. Okay, just alternating from one side to another, nice deep breaths all working through. Again, once we've done 7 on both sides, we're going to bring ourselves back up onto our feet nice and slowly. Back into that starting position. Again, just give the legs a nice little shake. Nice 20 seconds to get the breath back. Get yourself a drink before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, so moving on to a stretch now, looking to stretch out the quad muscles. Again, a quad, really important muscle to stretch out. It kind of covers over the hip and the knee as well, so really involved with 2 different joints there. So just to start off the stretch, we're going to bring ourselves to the back of the chair. Again, we're just using that for a little bit of balance. Place one hand on the chair and use the other hand just to grab that heel and pull that heel into that ball. Again, we're going to hold this for 20 seconds on each leg. Nice deep breathing while we hold that. If you want to progress it, just bring the knee back a little bit. Good stuff. And after 20 seconds, lower that leg down gently and repeat on the other leg. Grab that foot, pull it into the glute. Again, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Just hold that for 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths again. Good. After 20 seconds, we're going to again lower that leg down to the ground. Don't just let go, release it back down. Again, give the legs a nice little shake. We're going to progress. How we do that stretch again for 15 seconds and then for 10. But before we do that, let's give a nice little break. Just give the muscles a little bit of a breather, a bit of a break before we move on to the next set. So again, just take 20 seconds, have a bit of a drink if needed, and then we'll move on. Okay, so moving on to our next repetitions. Again, just same stretch, same position, 15 seconds, but this time, just gonna pull that knee back a little bit, just to progress that stretch. So again, make sure you start on the same side that you started with the first time, tuck that knee in, and then we're gonna pull the knee back behind the leg. Again, just hold that position for 15 seconds. Nice deep breaths. And after 15 seconds, just lower that leg down to the ground and pick that foot back up on the other side. Again, holding that for 15 seconds, bring that knee back where we can. Nice deep breaths. Good stuff. Again, after 15 seconds, slowly control the foot back down to the floor. Give legs a nice little shake, and we'll just have a very, very quick, brief breather again between stretches. Okay, so yeah, our final reps. So just 10 seconds on each side, but this time we're really going to pull that knee back to progress that stretch. So again, grab that foot, pull it into the glute, and then really pull that knee back. Nice deep breaths. We hold this for 10 seconds. Good, and slowly lower down into the ground. And then repeat on the other side. Again, pull that knee back, but make sure we keep pulling the heel into the bum. Again, 10 seconds, nice deep breaths. And again, slowly lower down into the ground. Giving them legs a nice little shake. And that'll bring us to the end of this exercise. Again, take 20 seconds, have a drink, have a breather, before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, so for our next exercise, looking at a little bit of a balanced exercise, working on one leg at a time. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to use the chair for a little bit of assistance. We're not putting any weight on it, just having it there for a little bit of assistance where needed. So we're just going to start out one leg at a time. Again, just maybe one or two fingers on the back of the chair just to keep us upright. And with the other leg out in front of us. So you want to have enough weight through the chair that you can feel this grounded leg working. And the other leg out in front. Just draw that alphabet with that big toe. So working through. Nice big letters. If you can take your hand off the chair, try and do that. And just grab it when needed. And we're going to just work our way through the alphabet once. Drawing in letters nice and big, nice and slow. And then we're going to swap sides. Really focus on one point on the floor, help you balance. Again, just use that chair to restabilize if you need to. And as we work through the alphabet, we're just going to swap round. So put the chair on the other side. And repeat the exact same thing. So swapping legs. So whatever leg was grounded before is now going to be out in front. Again, just working through. Draw them letters nice and big. Can you slowly take your hand off the chair? Again, focus on one point, really, really helpful for keeping you balanced. Draw the letters really slowly. Keep working through. Good. Take your time, work at your own pace. Just do them as slowly as possible and then bring both feet back down onto the ground. Give your legs a nice little shake And you're just going to move on to our next exercise after we take a short little breather. So again, just take 20 seconds, get your breath back, get a drink, let the legs have a little bit of a rest, and we'll move on to our next exercise. Okay, so moving on to our next exercise. Again, another really great mobility and range of motion exercise for the knee, working on that slow control as we're working through our movement. So again, we're going to bring ourselves down onto the floor, nice and slowly, and lay ourselves on our back. Just like so. So get yourself nice and comfortable with hands down by the sides. Okay, so bring the feet and the knees nice and close together, and then 1 foot at a time. Bring the toes up off the floor and slowly slide that leg into a straightened position. Squeeze the quad and slowly return back. Again, slowly sliding out and back in. Make sure we're keeping the toes off the ground. And we're squeezing the quad at the bottom. Keeping that heel very, very gently on the ground. And just keep alternating sides. We're going to do 7 of these on each side to finish our set. Working very, very slowly. Okay, 1 more on each side. Nice deep breath while working through. And slowly back in. Once you've completed 7 on each side, very slowly bring yourself back up onto your feet. Again, just give your legs a nice little shake out. Give yourself a nice little 20-second breather before we move on to our second set. Okay, so that should be enough time for a bit of a rest. So again, we'll lower ourselves back down into our starting position, laid on our back. So we're going to bring, again, our feet nice and close to our glutes, and our hands flat down on the ground. And nice and slowly, repeating that same process, just a very slow contraction, down toward the ground, squeeze the quad, and slowly bring it back up. Nice and slow, under control. Make sure we're taking nice deep breaths while working through these. Again, 7 on each side, nice and slow. And once more on each side to bring us to our 7 reps. And again, slowly bring yourself back up onto your feet. Again, give your legs a nice little bit of a shake. Take 20 seconds just to get your breath back. Give your legs a rest before we move on to our next exercise. Okay, so moving on to a stretch for the hamstrings. So we're going to start off in a seated position. Again, sitting nice and close to the edge of the chair. Placing one heel flat down in front of us. Again, keeping this leg nice and straight. And we're just going to lean forward until we feel a stretch down the back of the hamstrings. Holding this stretch for 20 seconds and repeat on the other side. So just lean forward, really pull this knee down. Starting from 3, 2, and 1. Nice deep breaths while we're taking our stretches. Nice deep breaths helps to relax the body and helps us push further into the stretch. Good, and then sit back up after 20 seconds, bring that foot back in and swap with the other side. Again, repeating for 20 seconds, leaning forward and starting in 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Really pull this knee down to further that stretch. Can we lean forward a little bit more? Again, maintain that nice deep breathing while we're doing stretches. Good, and after 20 seconds, again, bring the legs back in. Bounce the calves a little bit, give it a little bit of a shake, and we're gonna go again with the other side, this time just for 15 seconds, and then for the third set, we're gonna bring it back down to 10. So again, that same leg we started with, get that nice and straight, pulling that knee down into the ground, and lean again over onto that leg. This time, leaning a little bit further, just to push that stretch a little bit further. Again, 15 seconds, starting from now. Good, after 15 seconds, swap the legs and repeat, starting now. Again, we're trying to lean a little bit further over the knee than we were for the first 20 seconds that we did. Good stuff. Again, bring both legs back in, give them a little bit of a shake. I'm going to repeat once more for 10 seconds this time, really pushing that stretch, really leaning over that knee. So again, moving back to that leg that we started with, bring that other leg out and really stretch forwards as far as we can. Only hold it for 10 seconds, remember, starting from now. Really important to have these nice deep breaths while we're really pushing these stretches. Good, and after 10 seconds, bring that leg back in and repeat on the other side again. Really lean forward, starting from now. And back into that starting position again. Give the legs a nice sort of shake before you climb back onto your feet. Again, give the legs a nice little shake just to wake them back up after we've stretched them off. Again, have 20 seconds, have a little bit of a breather. That brings us to the end of the exercise and the end of the class as well. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll now move on to a nice little cool down. Thank you. Okay, so the same way we prepare the body to warm up for exercise, we have to prepare the body to cool down in the same way. So just to start off with that, we pop our hands on our hips, nice big circles, working around as far as we can. So looking to lower that heart rate back down to a resting level and keep the fluids transporting around the body to the tissues that we've worked. Nice deep breathing throughout. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and then change direction, the exact same thing. Try and use your hands just to guide your hips a little bit further. Really progress that stretch if you want to. Good stuff. Keep working. Twice more round, and I'll move on to our next stretch. Okay, so starting off, hands on front of the legs. I'm just going to reach down to touch our toes, nice and slowly, and coming back up. Ensure we're going down as slowly as we're coming back up. Again, maintain deep breathing as we're working down to the toes and back up to our start position. Keep the knees nice and straight, don't let the knees bend as we work down. Okay, and then bring the hands up and behind the head. Again, nice deep breathing while working through all of these movements. So really open that chest up, nice deep breaths, and we're just going to work. Bring the hips out and the shoulders over to the other side. And the other way. And rotate to look each way. Again, just hold at the end of the stretch and work around the opposite side. And forwards. Again, keeping the knees nice and straight. Keep the back in line. And back up. Nice deep breaths as we're working down. Nice deep breath in as we come back up. And the same thing, leaning backwards. Okay, then just moving on to a very steady, just walking on the spot. Again, looking to keep those structures working. Looking to engage that skeletal muscle pump. So every time your muscle contracts, it pumps that blood flow back around the body. Similar to where the heart does, but you know, rather up near the heart, right down near the structures that we've worked. So again, just nice and slow. Keep your breathing nice and deep. Very gentle. I'm just going to move it around the mat, just side to side. Again, just engages different muscle groups ever so slightly. Okay, then just to finish off our cool down, some really nice deep breathing. Again, the nice deep breath really helps to lower that heart rate back to its resting level. So hands on hips or behind your back, wherever feels comfortable. Really get that chest out. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just keep repeating that. And that'll bring us to the end of our cool down. Thank you very much.